We need you on the floor. Run the cash register.
I am recording.
We got a lobby full of customers. There's an old lady over there who took a dump on the floor because you didn't show her where the bathroom was.
Well, you know what? Maybe she needs to learn. Maybe she needs to learn the hard way. Nobody's gonna hold her hand through life. Maybe she needs to shit on the floor at least once.
Yes,
Everyone
they will.
does.
It's called her loved one. See, she's old. That's what happens.
You know what? Then she's wearing Depends, and it's an easy cleanup. I've worked at retirement homes. I've worked in the dementia ward. It's, they put them on people, okay?
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first episode of the Abridgerview Podcast, where we interviewed people on the internet that no one really wants to interview. Anyway, I am joined today by my first guest. You go ahead and introduce yourself. Introduce.
Yeah,
go ahead.
I'll have you know that everyone wants to interview me, so I'll be accepting an apology note in the mail. How's it going, everyone? My name is DoktorAppleJuce, and I
don't want to mail anything.
You can call me Daddy if you want.
No one is going to be doing that. No one is going to be doing.
You can call me Mommy.
No. Anyway, So Doc, go ahead and give them an overview of what it is that you do on the internet.
Hello, I do a bunch of different Fate parodies. Recently joined the Schmuck Squad. Don't know if I'm allowed to say what I'm doing there, but I am working on a thing. Mm-hmm. It's a very, very awesome thing. It's going to be amazing. Trust me. Let me hype it up some more so that you're eventually disappointed when it's released.
And that's the Abridger way, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
I've done some writing with Second Gear Squad. I help edit a bunch of things. Like, my friend Ivan Leroy of Dropout Entertainment likes to jokingly say that I edit half the stuff in the Abridged community to stretch, but as time goes on, it feels more and more like that's coming true. Mew Venus's Clan at Abridged, Charleston VO's Death Note, Joyride Entertainment's Iron Blood and Abridged. I'm going to be doing some sound effects on.
So in other words, DoktorAppleJuce does literally everything.
Oh, Das Tales. I did a thing for Das Tales, his ReZero thing, episode 3.
Oh shit, you did that?
Yeah, I did the editing.
Oh, I didn't even know you were on that. I work with Yusuf a lot. I do sound effects for him a lot.
Sweet.
Yeah, I know the guy. Anyway, so we're gonna go ahead and move into the typical questions.
Also, I make Fate Abridged.
No, you don't. It's not yours.
You can check it on my channel.
You can't. No.
Blue Drachma
no.
VA.
You can't take. First of all, you don't want it. Copyright is a bitch. Second of all, no, that's mine. Back off!
I'm here with DoktorAppleJuce, who does Fake Zero.
Yeah, I do Fake Zero, and I do Fake Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works, which I haven't uploaded in literally a decade. By the way, I also plan on doing Fake Stay Night Dean version. In 3 days, I'm uploading the first episode. All the voices are done by Blue Drachma VA. It's gonna be great. Anyway. You should hear his saber. He's fantastic. Anyway.
Governor!
We're going to move into the typical questions section where I go ahead and ask things that basically apply to just about any abridger. So, first typical question. How long ago did you start abridging? When did you commit your first crime?
I first, came up with the plan to do it in December of... What year was Tiba?
Tiba was 2016.
So it was 2015. December was when I first decided I would make an abridged series. And then February of 2016 was my first ever abridged series episode that got released.
And what was that?
That was Fake Stay Night, episode 0. And it was hot garbage. No, it wasn't. It was lukewarm garbage. I'm not even going to give it the benefit of being hot. It was lukewarm. And it was a nightmare. That's why I remade it. Do not watch the original unless you want to feel a lot better about yourself.
I mean, in that case, I think you're just recommending people watch the original and then never go on to watch your other content. I mean, if it's that amazingly amazing, then they gotta check it out because it's just gonna plateau from there. Where can you go up?
It's not even like The Room where it's so bad it's good. It's just bad.
So it's not even like it's not even like a laughable, enjoyable sort of like watching Spider-Man 3 for the 12th time because I have a problem.
It's like watching Monsters vs. Aliens. Ooh. Let's put it that way.
Ooh. All right, your words, not mine. Oh, anyway. So I was gonna ask what was your first show, but I mean that's the second question, but you already answered that. So moving on from that, if you have a favorite anime, what would you say it is?
Code Geass, no question, no hesitation.
Go ahead and explain that.
It reminds me a lot of fucking, why am I blanking? Guy who wrote V for Vendetta. His work. Watchmen, Miracle Man, Swamp Thing. What's his name?
Hang
on. Just give me a second.
I feel like I know it, but I don't want to tell you because
hold on. Here, hang on. Here it is. I have Watchmen in my hand. It is Alan Moore. That is who it is.
It concerns me that you have a copy of Watchmen sitting so close to you in your recording studio that you can just go grab it right there.
This isn't my recording studio. This is my editing desk, and I've got my bookshelf right beside it.
I mean, that makes sense, and that makes me slightly less concerned for your health. So anyway, continue.
Check your privilege. So yeah, it reminds me sort of like something he would do if he got into writing anime, and I really love his work. I love the character dynamics. One of the very first anime I ever watched was Death Note, and I liked it when I first watched it. And there are a lot of parallels you can draw between Death Note and Code Geass. You know, the morally gray genius that does like questionable acts in order to make the world a better place. However, Light is a very one-dimensional character. He changes once in the entire series, and it's in the very first episode over the course of a time skip. Whereas in Code Geass, like, Lelouch actually is a dynamic character that develops and changes over the entire course of the series, and I really appreciate that.
I would say I also really like Code Geass. I'd say I agree with a lot of your reasoning there. I think it was actually one of my first anime, one of the first 10 I ever watched.
Yeah, I will say it has a lot of dumb moments, but like it has a lot of high highs to counterbalance that.
Mm-hmm. You know, I think I agree with that too. Not to spoil anything in the show, but like sometimes the show can drop off the deep end. Like I think that one Purple Eyes line where he's just like, well,
yes,
Suzaku kicks the turret off the ceiling, and he's like, okay, that was fucking stupid. I was cool with everything else, but that was stupid.
Soon as you said Purple Eyes, I knew exactly what line you were going to say, and I 100% agree.
But at the same time, there's too much good in Code Geass for me to like care that much about the bad, because like especially with both of the season resolutions, I just can't not love the show.
Yeah.
And I'm a sucker for a good OST, and God knows Code Geass has a great OST.
Oh, what are you talking about? Oh, OST. I thought you meant. I thought you were saying OP.
No, not OP.
Is
not OP.
Fucking garbage.
The OPs are mostly garbage. Only like two of them are actually good. The OST is great.
Yes.
Especially Nightmare. I fucking love that track. But anyway.
I like the Matterhorn one.
That's also a good track.
That's my favorite.
Yeah. All right, let me check more on these generic questions. Trademark. All right, so going off of that, if you had to choose a favorite abridged series that you've ever watched, what would you say it is?
Wow. Like, 2 years ago, I could have answered this very easily with SAO abridged by Something Witty Entertainment. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. There's been a lot of contenders that have stepped up to the plate that have matched and possibly surpassed it. Mm-hmm. It's like, at this point, it's like picking your favorite child, you know? I love them. So
Yeah.
can I do like a top 5?
Go ahead. I'm not going to stop you.
Okay, top 5 in no particular order. Though I'm gonna put SAO Abridged by Something Witty at number 1 just because they were the ones that finally influenced me into actually making something. I'm also gonna add to that list Ruby Abridged by The Overseer.
I love that man.
I do too.
He is such a sweet man, and he's so talented.
He is a good boy. He is the goodest of boys.
He is the goodest boy.
I think with episode 3 that just got released, it's definitely something that cannot be ignored. If you haven't seen it yet, go watch it. Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works Abridged by Blazing Azure Crow. I love anything by Azure Crow, but it's like especially episode 3 has cemented it, in my opinion, as his best work.
I completely agree with that. Like there are some great lines in his Bleach. I'm not gonna say that I didn't love his Bleach. Like the fucking the one about the pink weapon fucking somebody up. I don't remember the exact quote, but it was great. But Unlimited Blade Works Abridged. I think it was episode 2 when Immigrant Song played that I decided I fucking loved that Abridged. I was rocky on episode 0, but then 1 was great. 2 was fantastic, and 3 is now like I decided for sure that I love it.
I also love the fact that he's going the extra mile now with editing. My one complaint, if I ever had anything about anything he made, was the visual edits weren't the best, and now he is going that extra mile, and like just it looks so tight.
He really does a good job with that, and like the cuts especially. Like one thing that I have a problem with a lot of Abridged about is like they'll cut things together too slow or too fast, and it completely fucks with the pacing of the comedy and the story. Azure Crow's really good about that. That's
like he does professional works. Like he edits professional productions, and it shows.
Also, kudos to the man for making a 50-minute long Abridged parody. Holy shit. But anyway, back to your list.
So that was 3. Sword Farce Online by Sonic the Abridged Hog, which actually I'm helping edit episode 4.
Oh, you can call that a little bit of bias now, couldn't you, you fucking fuck?
And I'm also gonna throw into that list, even though it's like it's only 1 episode in, but it's highly underrated, is Dragon Maid, or no, what is it? It's Made Dropout Online by Magic Abridged.
Oh.
It's just so creative and unique and original.
You know, I'm gonna take your word for it. I still haven't seen it, probably just because I didn't notice it. It probably hasn't even showed up in my recommended feed yet. But I'm gonna check it out after you just recommended it. If you're if you're honorable mentioning it on the same level as the shit you've already talked about, yeah, I'm watching that.
First of all, the editing is incredible. Second of all, the writing of it is just so clever. It could be like, if it wasn't an Abridged series, it could stand alone as its own like slice of life show, like a completely original.
I mean, that's something I like about a lot of Abridged series these days, because like a lot of shows in like a lot of Abridged series in the old days, they were funny, but like if the jokes didn't land, the episode wasn't good, and that's because a lot of shows tried exclusively to be comedy, which in the case of a lot of stuff, it worked out really well. I fucking love I think it was from episode like 13 to 17 of Yu-Gi-Oh! GX Abridged. Those episodes fuck me up every time I watch them, no matter how many times I rewatch them. But not gonna name any names as to what specifically, but like there are a lot of episodes of specific shows out there that just don't hit the mark. And because of that, I can't go back and rewatch them and enjoy them, because they don't tell a decent story. They're not intended to. And if the jokes don't land for me, then there's no reason for me to go back and rewatch it anymore. There's no story and there's no jokes.
I think what people are starting to realize is that comedy isn't a genre. Mm-hmm. It's a device that you include in a work of fiction. Mm-hmm. Like you can watch. Let's take for example Incredibles 2, which recently came out. It's hilarious. It is comedic, but you take out the comedy and you still got a solid story there. Mm-hmm. It can still stand on its own.
I think you can say the same about the original Incredibles too.
Yeah, I just went with Incredibles 2 because it's fresh in my mind.
Pop culture reference.
But like, yeah, you watch a good comedy that's like that stood the test of time. Mm-hmm. It's not just a comedy. Like stuff like say The Hangover, which are just comedies, nobody cares about. Mm. That's why The Simpsons for a long time was such a popular show, and why people don't like it anymore, because it used to be more than just a comedy, and now that's all they're going for.
And it's why the only good episodes of Family Guy are the ones that feature Brian and Stewie, because they're the only characters that ever show any fucking emotion. I hate that show sometimes. Like I very much agree with that sentiment. One of the reasons I love, not to go back to Blazing As Your Crow again, but part of the reason I love Unlimited Blade Works Abridged so much, I think one of the things that really cemented it for me, remember how in episode 1, Ku has like that whole bit where he's talking about Fergus when he first stabs Shiro. Okay, then Archer in episode 2 uses Kaladbolg and it fucks everything up before Shiro says, "I want that." Fergus's sword is Kaladbolg. Archer fired Fergus's sword. And both Ku and Archer, after using something related to Fergus, said, "You don't want that." And I really love that kind of layered writing. That's the thing that got me to appreciate the show the most, is because there's so many like worked in references, and there's really good like series continuity, even just comparing it to other Fate properties, not necessarily even abridged. That's why I love it. I like when abridged series go the extra mile to do that. It's why I love Something Witty and Unlimited Blade Works Abridged so much.
100% agreed.
Yep. And anyway, I believe you were on number 2?
Number 2? What?
Of your top 5 abridged series?
No, I finished the list.
You finished the list? Oh, fuck, I wasn't paying attention then.
Pay attention, buddy.
I tried!
Recap time.
Okay, recap.
Sword Art Online Abridged by Something Witty Entertainment. Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works Abridged by Blazing As Your Crow. Ruby Abridged by Zet Overseer. Sword Farce Online by the Roland Nolan. Did I say... I think the first time I said it was by Sonic the Abridged Hog, which is another show he does. No, it's by the Roland Nolan. So I'm sorry, Nolan.
Okay.
And made Dropout Online by Magic Abridged.
Right, okay. I thought you were making some of those honorable mentions and then making an actual proper top 5 list. I guess I got just lost, but yeah, I heard all of those.
Actually, you know what? No, I'm making a top 6.
Top 6? Oh boy.
Project Voice Bend by Project Voice Bend.
Isn't
the best editing I have ever seen.
I actually haven't seen that, so I'm just gonna trust you.
Get on it. Oh my god.
You know what?
It's hilarious.
I'm gonna have to make a job out of going back through this podcast, listening to all the recommendations you gave me, and listening to the ones I haven't seen yet. I mean,
just clearly I've seen... channel. Yeah. Just go on my channel. I've got a playlist there. My favorite abridged series. Go through that.
Yeah, I probably will. But anyway, now that we're finally through that top 5, moving on to another generic question. What do you view as the greatest strength in your own content?
I think oh, that's a hard one.
Take your time. I can cut out the dead air. We're good. Take your time.
I think the experimentation of it, like, on one hand, I haven't nailed down my style, which is a double-edged sword, because, like, it's not something that you go ahead and watch and go, oh, that's a Dr. Applejuice video. Like, you could watch something by Blazing Azure Crow and immediately go, oh, this is Blazing Azure Crow. Or you could watch Purple Eyes and you can be like, oh, yeah, I know, this is definitely Purple Eyes. This is his style. But, like, I don't have that, so that's bad because it's not as much of a recognition, but it gives me a lot more freedom. So I can do something like Fake Zero, which is a lot more serious and story-oriented and focused on character depth and stuff like that, and then do Collide Liner, which is just off-the-walls bullshittery.
For the record, that's my favorite thing that you've ever made. Not because I don't love Fake Zero, because I do love Fake Zero, but, like, Collide Liner makes me laugh every goddamn time I watch it.
Well, I am very glad we're going for a third episode.
Oh, fantastic. I cannot wait. No, I mean, I literally cannot wait. Give it to me right now.
Well, I don't even have the script written.
Okay, well, jump forward in time. Tell yourself to
April 1st.
April 1st.
2019 is when you're going to get episode 3.
Okay, when I get my time machine out of the shop, I'll go there.
Okay.
You want me to pick you up anything? I'm going to be stopping by Walmart when I go.
Yeah, I'll have unsalted, no foam, venti, organic, vegan,
Okay, I'll get you a black coffee.
Okay.
Okay, we're glad we established this. Anyway, so yeah, I really do agree with that. I like how diverse your content is, and that's probably the thing I respect about you the most, is you're able to switch between styles between different series and recognize what the strongest piece of those is, and that's what makes the best of your content as good as it is. Collide Liner, I wouldn't have been able to tell it was made by you just by looking at it when I first saw it, but it made me laugh a lot. And then all of a sudden I go and watch Fake Zero episode 2, and I'm laughing at the jokes, but at the same time, I'm recognizing okay, the Gilgamesh scene where he fucking stabs Assassin in the hand, that's like the most, what's the word? I think it's the most intimidating shit I've ever seen anyone make Gilgamesh look like, which is impressive because I hate that bastard and I think he's a prick, but that one scene made him scary, and I like that. I love that. And I really do love how you're able to switch between those styles. I agree. I think that is probably your greatest strength.
I'm kind of like, what's the Pokemon that oh fuck, I'm doing pop culture references. You know what? I'm not gonna stoop that low. I'm a mimic, you know? I see something and I mimic it.
You
like with
Ditto?
each show.
You mean
there we
Ditto?
go. That's the thing.
You mean Ditto?
I said I was gonna steer clear of the references. Excuse me.
Okay.
But yeah,
well,
so
you mean Ditto?
so like for Fake Zero, I'm trying to sort of emulate the style of something witty on that one. With future episodes of Fake Stay, I'm going to be somewhat emulating the style of Joyride Entertainment. And with Collide Liner, I try to emulate the style of Earl of Basington. So I see someone whose content I like, and I'm like, I want to try something kind of sort of like that.
All right, now
like if they were to tackle this series, how would they do it? And that's how I go about it.
All right, now I'm going to turn the question on its head. You said what you think your greatest strength is. What do you think your greatest weakness in your content is?
Consistency. That's the other. It's a double-edged sword. It's not recognizable as mine.
Yeah, I can conceptually agree with that. I still think that, like, see, the way I view it is I don't think consistency between different shows is really necessary as long as you have consistency between episodes. So, like, for example, if Hellsing Ultimate Abridged and Dragon Ball Z Abridged were constantly the same, then I mean, you could probably tell both are Team 4-star by looking at them. So this is a bad example, but like, if the two of them were constantly the same as one another, that would make them more easily identifiable as the same group. But on the flip side of that, if they constantly had the same tone, they wouldn't be as good as they are. Hellsing needs to be a lot darker and gorier and grittier. Dragon Ball Z Abridged needs to be a lot more simple and not lighthearted, but like self-aware. Hellsing is able to dip into serious moods a lot easier.
I would agree with that's how they need to be, but that definitely is how they are.
Well, I'm saying that from the perspective of I think that's how they think about it. They can make it however they want to be. I'm not saying they have to make anything anyway. I do not have that authority nor wish for that matter. But like that's just typically how their styles end up. But I think as long as you have consistency between each series you do, so consistency between episodes of Fake Stay, consistency between episodes of Fake Zero, or episodes of Cowlight. Holy shit, you do a lot of Fate series. I think you'd be fine.
Grand Order parody coming soon.
For moving on. All right. So all right.
Also, I will say for another weakness is rate of release.
That's
because I have my fingers in so many pies, like I'm helping so many other people, that I don't have as much time to work exclusively on my own content. So it's like it was like what 14 months between episodes of Fake Zero.
Yeah, but I mean, okay, I'm gonna say that's a very typical problem for Abridgers, simply because like this isn't our job. And like for very few of us, it's a job, but for you and me specifically, this isn't our job, and we need to do other stuff. And we want, and like, I don't see necessarily a show that I'm not getting paid for as something I need to prioritize over something that maybe I will get paid for. That's why I prioritize commissions over projects that I'd just be agreeing to help on. It's why before I opened up my Patreon and actually got patrons, I wasn't pressuring myself to constantly release. Now I am. But like the way I see it, that's not so much a weakness as it is humanity, because like we all have limits, and abridged parodies are mostly hobbies for the majority of us.
Yeah, well, for the editing jobs that I do, like my own works, yeah, no, I don't consider any of them a job, so to speak. I do consider them a hobby, but like most editing work for other people is paid. So there is that.
Yeah, that's true. But moving on from that, you tend to work with more often than most. So voice actors, other editors, graphic designers, etc.
Yes, absolutely. I do try as much as possible to expand outside of that, but there is definitely a core of people that I'm closest to and whose stuff I like the most and who I like to work with the most. For example, Mew Venus. Mew Venus, Beautiful Valentine, Charleston VO, Ivan Leroy, Cruftaria, I Has a Voice. You'll see mostly the same core people in each of my series, with maybe secondary characters being cast to new people.
Yeah. The better we know someone, the easier it is to direct them, the easier it is to work with them. And yeah. that is very much I've done since I met her. David's in a lot of my stuff. He's going to be voicing Sig in Abridged, actually. But that it is a lot easier just to have certain people you know you can depend on. Just
Yeah. Well, I did recently start on a project with Charleston VO, specifically with the idea that we could use that to cast people we haven't had a chance to cast yet. And immediately, as soon as we got to the casting stage, we were like, "Oh, Beautiful Valentine would be perfect for this. Ooh, Mia Venus would be perfect for this."
Yeah, yeah, that's a pretty normal. Actually, because I had someone on board to do the voice, and then things just didn't work out. Only got like 2, and neither were bad, but like I don't want to I don't want to be that guy, but she had such a good audition. And because like part of me always wants to cast new people and to get as many so just wants to keep it on track and not wreck the boat.
Yeah.
Um,
It can be scary, I guess, reaching out for new people because you don't know how reliable they are. But at the same time, usually I haven't been burned, at least in the past little while, with reaching out to new people.
Mhm.
In
It also-
fact, recently, a couple of new people that I've come into contact with that I want to start using as more core members have come along. So that's cool.
What I like most about a lot of the actors that I've worked with is that I'm gonna judge based on how many views you get, or how funny your stuff is, or how well. That's what I like about that. Twitch Shadow VO is another person to be around, and to talk to the guy, and to basically just be it's actually kind of crazy, but I like in circles like that, because the weakness of a lot of people's the weakness of a lot of circles tend to expand out, and I try as hard as I can not to internalize that mindset, because that is
Yeah.
But yeah, moving on to
One good thing
yeah.
about the Abridged community is how interconnected it is. So it's very easy to find new people if you ever do want to branch out. Like, for example, you just brought up Twitch Shadow VO. Perfect segue. I recently recorded something with his co-writer, I think she is, Sovereign Elise. Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon, but it's 6 degrees of, I don't know, Takahata 101.
The existence of the hub and eventually Ablo, like, connection, like, with Discord. Hell, you can shoot somebody a DM on Twitter, and if they tell you they're interested, you got a voice actor. Of creative hobbies of this sort. I mean, if you ever wanted to make a parody of something like for VHS tapes, and nowadays you can get a copy of fucking Adobe Premiere, iMovie or Windows Movie Maker if you really want to, just to get a start, and you can express. We are more connected, at least on a level where we can reach out to people we never would have been able to before.
Yeah.
Through, I'm just gonna say Ablo and leave it at that, because I can't think of anything else. But
there was the Abridged. What was it?
It was the hub
forums. There was Abridged forums before that, though. Like that, it was a website. It was like a forum site, but it died even before I started abridging. But it was like the precursor.
But like I don't follow it. I'm pretty sure there's wikis for all the like the major ones, like Little Karibo stuff. And
It's super out of date because I helped a while back update a couple of the pages. It didn't have a page for the Schmuck Squad, for Something Witty Entertainment. Blazing Azure Crow was still listed as Semi-Soma 1.
yeah. Great. I did not know that little nugget of abridged history. Wow. So, segueing from the actual question that I asked and not the tangent we went on. Not that tangents aren't bad. Not that... Do you typically prefer to scout voice actors, or do you hold auditions more often?
I prefer to scout, though I do sometimes hold auditions, just because there might be a hidden talent somewhere that I haven't come across, but for the most part, it's scouting.
I do the same, mostly. Although, the major reason why I don't usually hold auditions is a lot of attention recently, but, like, as I learned with the Atalanta auditions, that doesn't translate necessarily my own parameters, and scouting is a lot easier to do because of that.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Fun to record.
Number one is definitely Port from the Overseer's Ruby Abridged. I think that's the only project I've ever voiced in where I laughed reading the script. Oh my god, that dude's so
Like
fun.
the dude.
And I think it's hilarious. You read the comments of that, people are like, "Wow, he did a good impression of the original voice actor." I had no idea what the original voice actor sounded like. I was honestly doing a half-assed impression of Takahata 101.
Anyway,
There's also a bit, I think, that got cut out. That's one of my favorite lines, but it was kind of I don't know if it was cut for time or what, but my absolute favorite line in that was like, "Remember, danger is like me without a belt, everywhere."
Oh. Okay. Do any other voices tend to jump out at you besides that one?
I love really energetic ones. I don't know if I can say what project it's for. You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna say it. And if it turns out I'm not allowed to say it, then he can yell at you for including it on your channel.
Oh boy.
Ivan Man 64 is doing a Danganronpa abridged where I'm playing this very angry German chick. And let me turn down the gain on my microphone, but it goes something kind of like this.
What in the bloody pus-filled hell is that?
It's fun.
Are you physically okay?
I love shouty lines.
I say that because 90% of my dialogue is Ren and Yukio and Blue or Sister Bridge is either shouting or mono scripts. Anyway, so at this point, let me check my time and my.
We've been recording for like 41 minutes.
Yes, I am at 42. Alright, so, We're going to go ahead and go into the last question that I've engineered specifically for you in a lab full of genetic scientists who are still working on getting the goddamn Utahraptor DNA right. But anyway, what are your favorite Fate shows and movies from best to worst out of everything that you have seen from start to finish?
Okay, number 1 is the Heaven's Feel movie. No. Number 1. Number 1 is Fate Zero. Number 2 is the Heaven's Feel movie. And those are the 2 that I genuinely love. The rest, I'm either indifferent to or I hate them. And that's kind of surprising considering the path I've chosen for abridging, but it's the truth.
Well, go ahead and list them off.
I think the next one would have to be Unlimited Blade Works. I'm very indifferent to the story and the plot, but the animation is phenomenal, so it's at least fun to look at. And the soundtrack's really good. So it's got that going for it. After that, what else is there? I'm gonna go with Apocrypha after that. Then the Grand Order movie. Then are we including Garden of Sinners?
Sure. I mean, that is technically a canon to the same universe, so go ahead.
Then we're going Garden of Sinners after that. I
Really?
know a lot
You're putting Apocrypha above Cardinal Kokai?
Yeah. I'm putting Grand Order movie above that, which I know a lot of people love them, but like I don't get it.
They are slow-paced and monotonous movies to get through. Like I like
boring.
I like things about them, but they're a chore.
They're either boring or I don't understand what the hell is going on. At least I know what's going on in Grand Order.
You know, even though the plot is not very good. I don't think Gouda Fritzka, whatever the fuck they made his name in the actual movie, I don't think he says the statement "I want" once in the entire film. I think he just sort of goes along for it.
It's boring. Don't get me wrong. Grand Order is boring. I do not like it. It is lukewarm at best. No, it's less than lukewarm, but at least I can understand what's going on.
That's true. Hey, remember that one shot at the very end where like Mash is blocking the Excalibur and Ritsuka just there's beams of shadow and darkness everywhere. There's no way he'd be able to walk through that without getting obliterated, but somehow he's now behind Mash.
Yeah, it's confusing.
It is. But Anyways,
oh fuck, Carnival Phantasm.
Oh fuck, I forgot about that too.
Okay, Carnival Phantasm is third after
after Fate Heaven's Feel?
Yes, it's third. Okay, so after Kara no Kyokai, or Garden of Sinners, because I'm not a weeb, is fucking... What all have I seen? I haven't seen the Thunder Snow yet. I have not seen that.
Have you seen the cooking show?
I have not.
Okay. I think that's actually
probably gonna go...
Like, I know Dean Stay Night exists.
Gonna go with... Oh, this pains me to say, Collide Liner after that. Then Dean Fate Stay Night.
Really? You're putting Collide above Dean?
Yes.
I don't know how I feel about that, but go on.
And then after the very last, the very bottom of the bottom is it Extra? Is that one the one?
Oh yeah, Fate Extra Last Encore, literally the worst entry into the Fate franchise of all time.
Yes.
I hate like Collide Liners specifically because of how gross it is. But like like fucking Fate Extra Last Encore is no better, and
at least Collide Liner is recognizable as a work of fiction.
Yeah, like, and There's not even... Fan for Last Encore is legitimately the most confusing piece of media I've ever consumed in my life.
Have you ever seen those videos of those Dutch dancers that have, like, giant metal poles strapped to their crotch as they do ballet?
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, so Last Encore is the anime version of that. It's quote-unquote art. No, fuck off. Get your wine swirling
Studio Shaft
impressionist
Studio Shaft
out
go
of here.
home, you're drunk. Yeah, I have to agree with its placement there. For me, I know for a fact that I love Fate Zero above basically anything else objectively. I recognize that it is probably the best piece of art in the Fate franchise of all time. And I doubt it will ever be surpassed because Gen Urobuchi is a great writer. But
I don't know the Heaven's Feel movie is fantastic.
Oh, you're in for a fucking wild ride in the next movie.
I will wait for the next two just to hold on my judgment. For the time being, Fate Zero is holding on to that. But is holding on to that number one position. But
as someone who's read the visual novel, while I will not spoil anything, I think by the end of Heaven's Feel, you're going to be very, very torn on that.
Okay.
But anyway, I do love Oath Under Snow. I actually saw it in theaters back when it was airing subbed across theaters. I went down to Miami to go see it. That was fun. I actually dragged around David to go see it with me because he knew that Kuhulin was a character in that show, and we
Did
both
he have the fidget spinner?
I don't pull. The gay bulk fidget spinner.
Yeah.
No, we did not have that. I'm sorry.
Oh, you disappoint me.
I actually want to buy that right now. I'm gonna check it. I want to see how expensive that is because now that I think about it, that's the only thing I will ever buy a fidget spinner for in my life because I love Ku, like, mythologically and the Fate counterpart. But anyway, so yeah, Zero, Heaven's Feel. Then for me again, Unlimited Blade Works. I agree the plot is kind of weak, but I love the character work with the writing. Like, it's a very personal show to me, so I still rank it pretty high. Apocrypha frustrates me because it's a show with potential that never realizes it, and that frustrates me. Because the show could have been amazing, but it instead chose to be average. And that's just... It makes me angry to watch it because I know it could have been so much better.
One thing about Unlimited Blade Works that bothers me is how bland the romance is. It's just kind of there. Oh, she's a girl, here, boy. Yeah, let's do it. Okay.
That's part of what I love about Presage Flower, at least part one of Heaven's Feel. I will not say anything about the other two because I don't want to spoil anything for you. But I love how...
You know what? I don't even like Sakura. I don't even like her. And Presage Flower made me like her. So that's an accomplishment.
Yeah, agreed. I didn't like Sakura much either, but Presage Flower did a good enough job building up Shiro and Sakura's relationship to make me believe these two people liked each other, and it made me want them to be happy. Because, like, they look like people. They look like they're actually, like, people who enjoy each other's company, and that's a human thing that Rin and Shiro just never really had in Unlimited Blade Works.
They could have. It would have been so easy to do, but they didn't.
But they fucking didn't. It's also why I like Blazing Azure Crow's version. But anyway, moving on. So, I don't believe I have any other questions. So, if you have anything else you wanna say before we go, no rush. I'm not complaining about the extra watch time.
9/11, for or against?
All right, good night, everybody. It's been a pleasure having you. Okay, we're done.
Subscribe to my channel. Bye.
Nah.